Good day, everyone. My name is Elshanti King, and today I will be presenting on behalf of my Principal of Macroeconomics 211 class at the University of The Bahamas. We will be discussing the Great Reset under the topic, What are the implications of the Great Reset on the Bahamian economy? The Great Reset was split into two parts, one concerning micro and another concerning macroeconomics. For the purpose of this presentation, we will be discussing the macroeconomics part with specific reference to the economic reset. So let's dive in. Our objectives today includes defining the Great Reset, to discuss certain aspects of why a reset was proposed, to discuss certain aspects of what the reset proposes, and also to determine its possible effects on the Bahamian economy. So, what is the Great Reset? The Great Reset is a proposal by the World Economic Forum to rebuild the economy sustainably following the COVID-19 pandemic. In May 2020, the Great Reset was revealed by Prince Charles and World Economic Forum Director Klaus Schwab, who wrote the book COVID-19, The Great Reset. It proposes how governments and companies are looking to adapt. It seeks to improve capitalism, and it focuses on better environmental initiatives. As a fun fact, there have been two resets already, one that was characterized after the Depression of 1930 and another after the Long Depression of 1873. Reset here doesn't mean going back, but it instead means starting over in what we already know as the new normal. Great Reset means at a global capacity, just as COVID-19 didn't affect one country, but the entire world. Believe it or not, we are already in reset now, and you will begin to see this as we dive more into the presentation. So, the economics of the Great Reset. During the pandemic, business activity shut down tremendously and resulted in unemployment and the loss of profitability for many businesses. One of the questions that was asked by economists is whether the possible effects of this pandemic could be a decrease in demand as consumer income decreases. Due to this uncertainty, a decrease in investment is also projected, as well as an increased level of cautionary saving amongst consumers. Did you know that the Central Bank of the Bahamas held a financial literacy essay and video competition under the theme, "The ways in which we save are less important than how much we save"? It turns out that not many Bahamians have great saving habits, and it really caused our detriment during this pandemic. We also have to consider that as technological advancement increases, employers will begin to replace less skilled workers with artificial intelligence to increase labor productivity. This will most likely affect service and manufacturing jobs. It is projected that the labor market will consist of either highly paid work or underpaid work, as a lot of jobs will disappear. The government also had to fight the pandemic with increased level of spending to control the already deteriorating state of the economy and quickly bring it under control. Globally, certain countries went into the production of COVID-19 tests and drug research for the vaccine. Firms on the verge of bankruptcy and households were also assisted through stimulus funds. In the Bahamas, funds from the NIB and organizations like Hands for Hunger were implemented to assist households as well. By these measures of providing funds to firms and households, the government was able to get a hold of aggregate demand. This is the total amount of goods and services demanded in the economy at a given overall price level at a given time. In this regard, the negative impact of the decrease in demand previously mentioned could be controlled. However, all of this spending could lead to large fiscal deficits among some countries. So now we will discuss economic growth and unemployment. Why was a reset proposed? According to Klaus Schwab, he noted that in previous resets, it took years for unemployment to rise above 10% and for GDP to decrease by 10%. However, in the case of COVID-19, this would have taken place all in the course of 3 weeks. COVID-19 negatively impacted the economy globally by affecting supply and demand in a way that hasn't occurred in over 100 years. So what does the reset propose? GDP needs to be able to show the value created in the digital economy, the value created through unpaid work, and the value potentially destroyed through certain types of economic activity. Quarterly recovery of the GDP may appear positive because it will start off very low, but as projected, it may take years for the global economy to return to its pre-pandemic state. Resilience in terms of how the economy bounces back will need to be measured and monitored to determine the true health of an economy. So what does this mean for the Bahamian economy? A statement by the 40th Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, was turned into a policy. It says, an increase in GDP does not guarantee an improvement in living standards and social welfare. And as it stands, I really do believe that our economy does show this policy to be true. According to the Great Reset, the resources that a country can draw on in times of crisis, including financial, physical, natural, and social capital, will need to be tracked systematically. Many youth and young people in the Bahamas do believe that the Bahamas needs to be digitalized. However, now we do have a Department of Transformation and Digitalization, and we also have the Digital Transformation Unit. One of the projects that they would have implemented is the My Pilot Services program, where government workers are able to renew their driver's license online and also apply for certified copies of birth and marriage certificates or death certificates as well. And so I do believe that the Bahamian economy is moving towards a level of digitalization. However, will it be digitalized fast enough to catch up with the speed that the economy globally is going is the question. So now let's discuss the fate of the US dollar. The United States has retained the global currency reserve for decades due to the willingness of customers abroad to hold it. However, now, economic analysts are proposing a possible end to the governance of the dollar by the American economy. This is projected to come about due to uncontrollable debt that will eventually decrease confidence in the US dollar. This is also the reason why increased spending poses such an issue. So what does the reset propose? As it stands, there are no formidable alternatives to the US dollar. However, it is also noted that many countries would like to change the dollar's global dominance. There are attempts to launch national digital currencies that may eventually dethrone the US dollar supremacy. As stated by the Great Reset, the United States must maintain an economy that inspires global credibility and confidence. Failure to do so over time will put the US dollar's position in peril. So how does this affect the Bahamian economy? The Central Bank of the Bahamas has already announced the launch of a new digital currency, the sand dollar. Sand dollars are the first national digital currency of its type to go live anywhere in the world. Its tokens are cryptographic representations of the Bahamian dollar, issued and regulated by the central bank, making them easy to integrate into existing payment networks. The project purposes to assist with micropayments, and also it assists in accessing issues faced by some of the country's population. That would bring us to the end of this presentation. However, I also decided to include some topics for discussion. One of them being, did you know about the Department of Digitalization and Transformation? How do you feel this better positions the Bahamian economy post-pandemic? And also, it is proposed for GDP to show the value through unpaid work. Do you see this as beneficial or detrimental? So like I said, that brings us to the end of our presentation. I surely learned a lot and I hope you did as well. Enjoy your day. And thank you for watching.